Hi friends, and welcome to another reading vlog. It's Halloween! We don't really get trick-or-treaters, and we don't really have any plans for today, so I'm not super dressed up, but I'm wearing these cute little earrings that my mom made for me. They've got skulls and crowns, and they're properly spooky, and I'm wearing my orange and black, and I also have my little bat socks on. So yeah, feeling Halloween-y. I'm also gonna make some pumpkin bread later to bring into work, and other than that, pretty much my plans for today are reading spooky atmospheric stuff. So I'm about halfway through The Darkest Part of the Forest right now by Holly Black. I believe this takes place in the same world as the Cruel Prince series, the Folk of the Air series, and I love the way Holly Black writes fae. They're like properly spooky. Like they're as dangerous as they are beautiful, and I think that's the way fae should be. I also really like how Holly Black writes her heroines. The main character, Hazel, in this is, she's no Jude. She's not quite tough as nails, but she's still pretty badass, and she hunts dangerous fae and whatnot, and overall I'm enjoying this so far. It's been a really fast read. I literally started this yesterday, and I'm already halfway through it, so that's a pretty good sign. And this story takes place more in like the human realm than the Cruel Prince series does. Hazel and her brother Ben live in this town that sort of borders fae lands. So while most of the people that live there are human, they're pretty used to fae and, wearing protection or leaving out sort of gifts for the fae so as to not provoke their ire. But the story of this one really starts off when this fae boy who's been in like this glass coffin in the woods for as long as anyone can remember suddenly wakes up, and they don't know why or what happened. Hazel seems to have had something to do with it, but she doesn't quite remember, and they're trying to figure out if this boy Severin is dangerous or not. And danger seems to follow him, but they don't know if he's the bad guy, basically. I'm really enjoying this so far, so I'm hopefully gonna finish this today and maybe squeeze in another, or at least start another spooky book, because it's Halloween, y'all. I'm gonna try to keep the atmosphere up, and yeah, so this is probably gonna be more of like a week-long vlog. It's Sunday now, and I'm hoping to get this up for Friday, so I'm gonna be reading hopefully a couple books in the meantime, so stay tuned. I've got my apron on. Gonna start baking. My ingredients out for pumpkin bread. It was really difficult to find pumpkin puree this time of year, but I found some, and this is like, my family has this spice bread recipe that is so good, and in true family recipe form, I have it written down on a scrap piece of paper, so I should probably laminate that one of these days so I don't lose it. But yeah, I'm excited. It's been a really long time since I made pumpkin bread, so let's get going. Come on. What? What are you screaming at me for? Why are you screaming? What? It's not cat food, it's pumpkin. I just finished Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. It was really good. I liked it a lot. Not quite Cruel Prince level. I think I'm probably going to give this one about 4 stars. It just felt a little rushed at the end, I thought, but otherwise I really liked it. Definitely feels of the same world as Folk of the Air, which I really enjoyed. Again, I really liked Hazel as a protagonist. I was talking to my friend Stephanie, who lent me her copy of the book, about it, and I said as much. I'm like, she's no Jude, but and then Stephanie said, but they would definitely sit at the same lunch table, and I thought that was pretty accurate. So I thought it was cute. I enjoyed it a lot. Again, probably gonna give it about 4 stars. So it's Sunday night, Halloween. No really big plans. Just gonna eat some tacos with my boyfriend and watch, I think we're watching Inside Job on Netflix. It's cartoon series, like an adult cartoon series from the creator of Gravity Falls, I believe, or he's at least involved. So that's been fun. It's very like conspiracy theory driven, which is fun. And I'm thinking the next book that I'm gonna pick up is Empire of the Vampire. This is on my November TBR, and I did mention that I want to try to like pick it up pretty early, not to get it out of the way, just to give myself a lot of time to read this because it's a bit of a chonker. So I'm excited to get to this one. I haven't read a vampire story in quite some time, so I'm really excited. I've heard this is like pretty edgy and gruesome, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, very excited to read this. Gonna try to finish this for the vlog, but we'll see. But yeah, so having a really nice Halloween. The pumpkin bread turned out great. I'm gonna bring some of that into work tomorrow to share with my coworkers. And yeah, it's been a lovely day. I hope yours is going well too. I do want to say I think it's pretty funny that the premise involves sort of a world in which the sun hasn't come up for nearly 3 decades, which is like the opposite of Nevernight, a series also by Jay Kristoff, where the sun never goes down, hence it is never night. So that's funny that Jay Kristoff seems to like this sort of endless day and night sort of scenario. I haven't read Nevernight yet, but I just thought that was amusing. Also, I think this is our main character, Gabriel, with some very edgy tattoos. I have no idea who that is. I guess we'll find out. Hello. I have a pumpkin. I wasn't going to vlog because I don't have like a reading vlog going at the moment, but my boyfriend insisted that it would be cute to vlog me painting this pumpkin. My work is having a competition, like a pumpkin decorating competition, and I am not very skilled with a knife. So I figured I would play to my strengths and paint it instead. As you can see, I haven't done anything to it yet. This is the before. It's a pretty hefty pumpkin. It's a good size. I'm wearing my artist smock. First time I'm wearing it, actually. I bought it over a year ago, I think, but I haven't been painting a whole lot, so I'm excited to jump into this. I have a really cool, fun idea, and hopefully it's kind of different than what other people are doing for their pumpkins, and fingers crossed I win. Pumpkin is now black as the base. I can't remember the last time I painted a pumpkin, if I ever have. It's taking a while to dry. I don't know, I feel like I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes, and like I'm using acrylic paint, and acrylic paint dries really fast on canvas, so I'm wondering if I should have gessoed the pumpkin first. Maybe it's porous or something, but I just feel like it's still like really tacky to the touch still. No paint is coming off anymore, really. Oh, there's a blob. I still have to get, like, the bottom of the pumpkin as well, because, you know, it's sitting on its butt right now, and I have to paint that black at some point, but it's definitely not dry enough to flip onto its side yet, so it does seem to be drying, but much slower than I expected, so I'm a little worried. Hopefully this doesn't take all night. We shall see. Hello. it is now the next day. I forgot I was supposed to be vlogging this, but we're making good progress today. Last night was a little rough because painting the entire pumpkin took way longer to dry than I expected. So that, like, I was hoping to get it done last night and it just was not in the cards. So I settled with doing the black for the pumpkin, like the entire thing, and then sort of like this purpley cloud smoke thing that's gonna be coming out of my crystal ball. So let me give you a peek. I'm like almost done. I have this sitting on my lap because it's just easier to paint that way now that it's all dry, but I have one more hand to do on this side to match this one, but after that I'll be done. I think I might varnish it so it's more glossy. I used an acrylic gouache and it's starting to crack a little bit because it's supposed to dry matte, and I think just maybe the binder or like the matte finish is just sort of not great for painting on pumpkins, but you know, you live and you learn. The more you know. So almost done. Just gotta do the other hand. Hopefully I don't doof it up too much. You know, one hand is easy, two hands is hard. So we shall see how it goes, but I'm really happy. It took a little bit to get the colors that I wanted. I played around with different blues for the ball and the base, but after I kind of nailed those down, the hand is sort of matching the blues here, so the rest came pretty easily. And once I get the other hand, I'm gonna add some sparkles and maybe varnish. So happy with how it's coming out so far though. Okay, I started Empire of the Vampire on my lunch break at work today, and holy edgelord Batman. I'm having fun with it though. It's definitely different than other things I've read, especially lately, but you know, vampires, man. So I'm into it so far. I'm not super far in. I'm like 20 pages, but I'm at Target right now. I'm gonna see. I am Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers. The day after Halloween, I start looking out for Christmas stuff. So I'm gonna see if they've got the Christmas birds and maybe some wrapping paper. Hello. I meant to take you around Target with me, but I totally forgot when I was inside. So I do have some Christmas stuff to show you if you're interested. So I feel like I never have any festive like accessories. Rocket's running around. I feel like I never have any festive accessories, and in the women's section, I saw they had these really cute earrings. They have little bells, and this one has a little reindeer on them. So I think this will be really cute for December, both in videos and while I'm at work. So I thought these were so cute. And then I'm a big scrunchie fan. They have like festive scrunchies. I genuinely don't know if I'll use the tinsely one. That's a little much for me, but I really love this plaid pattern, and this really velvety green I think is really pretty. So I'll definitely at least use those two. Maybe if my coworkers dress up like tacky for like right before Christmas or last day before the holiday, I'll do this, but not sure yet. Also in the women's department, I found this really cute cardigan. It's like this fleckled green, and it's like Christmas green. I know it doesn't super show up quite as well because the low lighting in here, but I thought this was really cute, and I wear a lot of green, so this is gonna be a nice addition to my cardigan collection. And then in the actual like Christmas seasonal department, I got these cute little bottle brush trees. Oh my god, the reflection is crazy because of the light. I think these will look really cute on my bookshelves in the background. I also got more string lights that aren't purple. They're just like regular white, which I think will be cute for Christmas. And then these are like, again, the box is really reflective, but they're glittery gold bottle brush trees, and I think they'll look really cute on my shelf. So got that for that. And then I really love wrapping presents. That's like one of my favorite things about the holidays, and I kind of like to go all out with them. So I picked up some ribbon, And I really love these plaid patterns, both kind of the check and the regular gingham. And then I got this like black velvet one. You can't really see because the packaging, but it's gonna look really pretty. And I'll probably try to vlog a little bit later down the line once I start wrapping presents to kind of show you guys, because again, I really like wrapping presents and I try to make them as pretty and like color coordinated and aesthetic as possible. So very excited to wrap presents this year. Okay, I'm about 46 pages into Empire of the Vampire, so not a whole lot, and I was hoping to get to part 2 tonight, but that's page 106. Not gonna happen, but I had a really lovely phone call with my best friend Stephanie, so that was nice. So far I'm getting Interview with the Vampire meets Underworld vibes, like the structure of Interview with the Vampire meets the tone of Underworld specifically. So that's fun. Again, very edgelordy, but, and like, Jay Kristoff he'll write some of the most beautiful lines, and then just like follow up with like really ridiculous, crude, almost out of place cursing. I don't know if I buy that this Gabriel figure like speaks the way he does, or like it's not consistent for me, because again, he's telling the story of his life, and it'll go from being something really elegant and profound to like something really fucking stupid. Jay Kristoff, why? It's not a deal breaker for me though. I get that some people just have a cringy way of speaking, so it is what it is. I do like the structure of it though. I do like that it's like him reflecting back on his life. I've really just passed sort of him talking about his childhood and his family and this tragedy that happened to his family, and sort of as he's getting older he realizes something's happening to him. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know if he's like part vampire or what, because he was never like bitten, but he seems to have an urge for blood, so that's different. But he just joined the Silver Saints, which is this order that in the present he is now the last member of. So I'm getting sort of like a Witcher vibe as well. He gives me Geralt vibes. So I don't know, this feels like an amalgamation of a lot of very familiar things, and I'm very curious to see how Jay Kristoff really kind of makes it his own, rather than just being sort of derivative from these other things. Because I think it's a cool idea. I like where he's going with it, but it definitely needs to like do something different in order to establish itself as like a unique entity. So I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm probably gonna have to wrap it up for the night because it's 10 o'clock and I gotta get up early. So but yeah, I'm intrigued so far, and the illustrations are really cool. I am really enjoying those. They set the mood. There was a scene with like these 2 young vampire girls. It was really creepy, and like the illustration that went along with that scene was even creepier. So good job. I believe it's Monolime Art or something on Instagram that illustrated this book. Fucking fabulous. Good job. Hi, so it's been a day. Last night I sort of slipped and started a different book. I am enjoying Empire of the Vampire still, but I wanted to read something cozy, and I ended up picking up Well Matched, which is the new Jen DeLuca book. It is so freaking cute. I just got out of work. I have to run a couple errands first, and then I want to put my Halloween decorations away tonight before I jump back in. Hopefully finish up Well Matched tonight and maybe read a little bit more of Empire of the Vampire. I will update that later. I'll probably also do a time lapse of me taking down the Halloween decorations, because I feel like they deserve one more time to shine. But yeah, I'll try to remember to film while I'm going to Christmas Tree Shop, which is really cute. See if they have any decoration stuff up yet. Don't at me. I know it's early, but whatever. Don't come for me. just finished Well Matched. This was really cute. It's not that I didn't think I'd like it, but because like I really liked Mitch as a character, but I feel like we didn't really know April super well as a character. So I really liked Mitch as the love interest. He's been in all 3 books so far, and I was just like waiting for his time to shine, and shine he did. He was very cute in this book, and honestly much more of a softie than I expected, so that was really cute. April had a lot of really relatable sort of things. She's very introverted, she's very independent, and this book definitely felt quite a bit different because, like, she's the main character, but she's not quite as in love with the Renaissance fair scene as Stacy and Emily were in their respective books. But, like, it still had a splash of the Renaissance fair and, like, that flavor that makes the series so unique. And it was really cute, and her approach to it was, I thought, very in character, but still really enjoyable. So, definitely liked this one. First one's still my favorite because Pirate Simon cannot be beat, but I think this is a pretty close second. I'm thinking probably 4.5 stars at the moment, but this was the cozy read that I needed. I gotta wrap up this vlog. Sorry, it kind of ends abruptly. I did finish 2 books during this vlog. As you saw, Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black and Well Matched by Jen DeLuca. And I finally finished, oh, hello, Rocket. I finally finished part 1 of Empire of the Vampire. This guy's kind of a chonker, so I wasn't really expecting to be able to finish it for this vlog. Definitely, like, I'm getting it out of the way in the beginning of the month, so I'll definitely have it done, like, by my November wrap-up. So I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to continue reading it. I am enjoying it so far. Part 1 ends, like, about 100 pages in, maybe a little less. It's, I think, a good start. I'm getting a sense of who Gabriel de Leon is and sort of how he started. You learn a lot about the Silver Saints, which is the order he's a part of, and at the sort of like present timeline he is the last member of. You get these flashbacks of his life because he's telling his story to a vampire who he's like a prisoner of. Jean-Francois, I think was that guy's name. And so you got in his childhood and how he became part of the Silver Saints and why he became a Silver Saint. But that part's really cool. It reminds me a lot of The Witcher, actually, for reasons I will not elaborate on, but if you know, you know. And I'm intrigued. So I think it's a good starting off point. My only complaint so far is something I've brought up in this vlog previously, is that the narrative will be really good. Like, the prose will be really good, and then, like, the dialogue just feels sort of tonally off sometimes. There's some really bizarre cursing, and I'm not sensitive to cursing at all. It just feels out of tone. Like, I feel like Jay Kristoff was trying to go for the sort of Geralt dry, sort of exasperated humor with some things, because that works in The Witcher really well. But, like, the way Gabriel curses sometimes just feels like it takes me out of the moment, because it's not just simply like the F-bomb or like it's something like elaborately stupid, and it feels juvenile. And he's not the only one that does that. There's other characters that curse and stuff like that as well. It's just, it feels strange. I don't know how else to describe it. And to be fair, like, for a large part of part 1, his character is like 15, but he's telling the story, like, narratively, the structure of the narrative is that he is 30-something years old telling the story about his life. So it's his 30-year-old self telling the story about, like, his 15-year-old self. So all the cursing feels like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like quite in character, because you can't say like, oh, it's because he's 15. It's because, like, no, this is an adult man telling the story about his 15-year-old self. I don't even know if that made sense, but yeah, I don't know. So, like, that's not my favorite, but I am still, like, intrigued and invested in the story. So obviously I'm going to keep reading. I'm enjoying it so far, and curious to see sort of like how he gets from this 15-year-old person who just became a part of this sort of holy order to where he is now, where he's been captured by vampires after sort of committing this really big deal deed, and he's sort of legendary amongst the vampires as being like, you know, a badass. So like they fear him. So I'm very curious to see the continuation of his story. I think Jay Kristoff's done a really good job of writing like scary vampires, especially like the thrall like ones that Gabriel has talked mostly about fighting. There are more like highborn vampires. And that's actually, sorry, I feel like I'm veering off on tangents here, but that's actually a concept I really like about this. I haven't read a lot of vampire stories, but part of sort of the vampire lore is vampires can't control who they turn. So they can feast on someone's blood and leave them for dead, and that person may rise 5 minutes later as a vampire or never, or sometimes weeks later and they'll rise as a vampire. And sort of their state of decomposition reflects like sort of their status as a vampire. So like the really decomposed, mindless ones that were like, you know, sitting on the ground for weeks or months will, if they do awaken as vampires, are like, I believe Gabriel calls them wretched. They're just like, they're the scary, disgusting, like zombie-like vampires. And the more sort of cognizant vampires use them as sort of soldiers. And the ones that rise shortly after being attacked by a vampire are sort of more high status because they look beautiful still because their body hasn't really had time to decompose. They're locked in at whatever state of decomposition they were at when they like woke up as a vampire. So they're beautiful typically, and they still have their wits about them. So I think that's actually a really interesting sort of background for vampires in this, especially where there's like no sort of control over who you turn. I think that's really interesting as well, because I think that's usually a pretty big deal in vampire stories. So yeah, I'm enjoying the mythology behind the vampires, and like they've mentioned several other monstrous creatures, but we haven't really come across any yet that I can think of. But yeah, so it's cool. I'm hoping maybe it's just a matter of getting used to how Jay Kristoff writes dialogue and his characters. This is my first Jay Kristoff book. I do own Nevernight, but I have yet to read it. So yeah, so far I recommend it. I'm only about 100 pages in, and it's almost 800 pages. So, you know, plenty of time to change that opinion or reinforce it. Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna end the vlog here, and you can catch my full thoughts about Empire the Vampire later this month when I've finished it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like this video, comment down below. Have you read any of these? I know Empire of the Vampire is a pretty new release that a lot of people are reading, so if you've read it, let me know. I'd love to talk about it. Try to leave spoilers out of the comments if you can, just because like I haven't finished it, and you know, this book did just come out, so don't want to accidentally spoil anybody. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful night. Bye!